Welcome, everybody, to today's episode on Wisdom Cafe Live. And this is episode 19 of Meet the Author. Boy, I got stuff stuck in my tongue here. So, Meet the Author. My name is Bob Choat. Now, I can't even get my name right. I'm the Transformational Grandmaster.
Sorry, Bob.
That's fine. My tongue seems to be stuck somewhere. And okay, and my beautiful co-host is Sofie Nubani, the queen of laughter and wisdom. Sofie, other than my tongue being stuck in my mouth and messed up and swirling all inside there, how are you doing today?
In Florida, it's a little bit chilly these past 2 days, but it's beautiful weather. I mean, we can't complain at all. It's gorgeous. And
Yes.
I'm so happy to have our amazing Dr. Marilyn over here. I'm so excited about a show with her. It's been a while since we connected, last from boot camp.
Boot camp, yeah. That was
Boot
a
camp.
trip, wasn't it? That was so fun.
Yeah, that was fun. And look at her. She keeps looking better and better. I mean, I think those books are really doing some beautiful glow around her.
And speaking about Dr. Marilyn Scott, she's a holistic health practitioner with a numerous amounts of education, certifications, and so forth. I know she has a passion of really making a difference to people in terms of their overall health, and we've talked about that. And I'm going to go a little bit into that. She brings her natural healing, different modalities, and she was able to weave this into her company, which is called Healthy Living with Marilyn. And she has that natural touch. She also, I believe you have a YouTube channel based on that, and you have 58 shows. And really, I think your books, in fact, you even showed me your newest book, and I shared with her, shared with the audience, her book, and that's called Be Amazing, which there's a link on that website and your current website. And yes, that's
Yes.
that book. And then she is an international speaker on natural health. And she even talks about caregiving, having a positive outlook on life, and so much more. Now, her book, Be Amazing, does talk about the positive results that you want are simply a leap away. And
Amen to that.
her newest book, and she's going to show it, called Pulling It All Together for a Healthier You. And I believe this is her second book that she's written this year. And I know that she never thought about it, and her editor called and brought that forth and said, you know, Marilyn, we want you to write another book. And this is coming off right just previously doing a book, and that's a challenge, writing a book and just keeping focused on that. And then, like, I have other things to focus on. So, Marilyn, I know that you've been actively writing a lot, as well as helping so many people, and again, being on our show, and just keeping up this pace, and I know, like, me and you were both in our 60s, and here you are still doing the same thing as if you were like 30 years younger or something.
Mhm.
Yeah. So we want to welcome you on our show and thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm known as the Be Amazing Doc. That's what I'm known as.
The
And
amazing Doc.
yeah, and I
I
go
love that. This
Yeah, that's cool.
amazing dog.
yeah,
Absolutely.
I go out and motivate people. That's what I do. I get up on stage and I make people realize that you can do it. You're amazing. You're truly amazing, and they don't realize it.
Yes.
When you put that thought process in their head, they say, "Yeah, I can really do it. I can really do it." So I help people make them realize that, yeah, anything is possible. The sky, you can go beyond the sky. It's limitless.
Hmm.
Whatever you want to do, go do it. So that's
It's
that's what I
amazing you
do.
second that because so many times in life, uh, no matter who it is and where they've been and the experiences they've had and the books they read and all that great, beautiful enhancement for self development, yet there's something magical when we empower another person and when they hear it from someone else. So whether they are going through low self-esteem or if they have good self-esteem, it works in both ways in such a great energy and positivity that will just get them to vibrate and evolve even higher. So that's amazing.
You're right, Sophie. You know, it's just, you got 24 hours in a day. What are you going to do with yours? That's what I say to people. What are you going to do with yours? I do not have pity parties. I don't feel sorry for myself. I push through any issue that I've had, and we all have issues. You wake up in the morning, you don't know what cards have been dealt to you, but you have issues, and you learn. I have learned, and I have helped people to move through those issues because it's important to move through the issues and stop being so sad. We have to have happy and laugh, as you know, Sophie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you don't have laughter, what do you have? Truly, what do you have? You
Yes,
know,
so
and
the
laughter is,
success,
if
yeah,
you can
exactly.
laugh, if you can laugh for 20 minutes without stopping, that's 60 minutes of aerobics workout. Would you rather do laughing for 20 minutes or would you rather do 60-minute aerobics, right? I would much rather do 20 minutes of pure laughter than 60 minutes of aerobics.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and the great thing about laughter, not only are you getting that physical movement in your body, and what aerobic activity doesn't do is work your diaphragm.
Uh-huh.
So you're getting those health benefits as well.
Right.
Yeah,
You're
through
massaging the organs in your body when you laugh
yes,
because you're
yes.
laughing through your truly you do, and they need attention. So that's why I love
They need attention and not detention.
Right. I mean, I love to laugh, and I spend my time. Spend my time around people who are funny, who love to laugh, who make me laugh.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because it's important to laugh. It's important to find what you can do to leap to the next level. And I surround myself with positive people. If there's negative people around, I walk away.
Yes.
Walk away.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially those toxic ones that want to bring you down and such. And here you are, you learn and you teach those concepts to others to do the same thing. So you're actually living what you're teaching and you're doing it throughout the moments on each day and every single day. So that's what's really important, is that you're living what you're teaching. And
Yep. Because when I find somebody that's sad, I'll go over and just say, you can be amazing. And they look at me like, really? You know, and yes, you can. And I try to find those people that are sad to when I'm out and about, when I'm not chained to my laptop writing, and I go out and I try to help them find a positive outlook in their life during the day. I go out of my way to do that. You know, my intuition says when I'm at the grocery store, go to this person, go to this checkout person because she's having a bad day or he's having a bad day. And I do that. You know, and I wrote that in my book, Be Amazing, because one day I went to a gal at the grocery store, and my grandson, who's now 5, he was like 8 months old at the time, and she was really having a bad day. And I wasn't really talking to her much, but she was doing her thing and, you know, moving the groceries through. And then all of a sudden, towards the end, my grandson opened his eyes and smiled at her, and it totally changed her attitude. She had a glow on her face. I mean, it's giving me chills just talking about it. And I wrote that in my book. All it takes is the smile of a child. That's all it takes. Or a smile from an adult. That's all it takes. You know, like, I care. Because
yes.
they even care. Right?
Yes. Isn't it great, like when you see people that are just so full of joy that you actually want to get closer to them and experience that? There was a show years ago on TV, and I know Sophie and a lot of younger people are not going to remember the show. And in the scene, the opening scene, where it would show her coming into the city and looking around and just
Oh my God,
experience
the Mary Tyler Moore Show.
that girl. Remember that also?
Oh, that girl? Okay. I had the wrong show.
Yeah.
Oh, that was with Marlo Thomas.
With
That,
Marlo Thomas, yes.
that was before your time, so.
Okay.
It was.
It was. It
What?
was. Yep.
You got to be
Yep.
our age to understand that show.
Got it. But she was like enjoying the city.
Yeah.
Remember? And also, yes, and there was other shows like that. But we just experiencing the joy of a childlike joy. When we see children laughing and just an experience that we want to be closer to that. But even adults, we look at seniors like, I would love to like meet Betty White, the kind of joy that she brings about. See, those are the positive things that we want to get closer to.
Mm-hmm.
And I think like what you teach in terms of through like Be Amazing is that when we feel that being amazing, we bring out that joy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's going to affect us positively and others around us, right?
Right. Yeah, my grandson, he's big into Marvel comics.
Ah.
And this past year, he was the Black Panther. And last year, he was Spider-Man. Well, one day when I was doing a Facebook Live about 10 months ago, he says, well, Grandma, I want to get in my Spider-Man outfit. Okay, that's fine. And he went, was doing the Facebook Live, and he went into character. Totally into character. I have it. I can send it to totally into character.
Whoa.
And it was phenomenal. He got up on my shoulders. I'm trying to do a Facebook Live, and he got up on my shoulders, and and he was doing this, making the website. It was so precious, and I wanted to delete it, and people said, no, don't do that. So a couple weeks ago, he was at my house he was off because of election day, and his school was off. So he comes over to my house because I was taking care of him that day, and he had a Flash costume on. And
Wow.
Flash is one of the Marvel comic guys. And my daughter says, well, he's got Flash on, Mom, but he has other clothes. I said, okay. So we go to the mall, and he's got Flash on, and we get on the train, and people say, who are you? He said, I'm Flash. And he wore it all day long. And it just made people smile and be happy, and people were waving. They have a train up there that they can run, and we were on the train going around the mall and everything, and people were waving to him and everything, and it was great. He never changed his clothes. My daughter says he's still Flash. It's like, yeah, get over it. Okay.
That's awesome.
It is, but he gets in character, and it makes him happy, and it makes other people happy, and
he feels amazing.
He cares. He draws a crowd that if they're sad, they're happy after they talk to him.
Aw.
So
yeah,
he's pretty.
How old is he? You said?
Huh?
How old was he?
He's 5.
Yeah.
Oh, my precious, so
Yeah.
sweet. And what a beautiful age, and to have such a great emotional growth with you being around, and with his parents. I think a lot of kids in our society today truly miss the engagement and involvement of their grandparents' love and attention, for them. That I really believe it really brings a lot of confidence to their lives as they're growing into being adults and men in society. And so that's really cool.
that is cool.
I closed my practice 5 years ago to take care of him, to become
Aw.
a full-time grandma. I did not look back. And I took care of him for 2 years, and then his brother came along, and I took care of him for another year. So I would never, ever trade that for the world. And they come over, we have sleepovers, and they come over if they're sick, and we do happy moments, and I love my grandchildren. I'll stop.
What's happy moments, Dr. Marilyn?
What are happy moments? Like,
yes, we want to know about your family's happy moments.
Yes.
We play. I stop and play. Those are my happy moments. My grandson, his name is Jacob, he does puzzles like you would not believe. When he was 3, he started doing puzzles that were 6-year-olds.
Oh, advanced.
He is amazingly good at puzzles. He makes me feel really not a puzzle person. But he's taught me so much. And if you're around kids like that who are totally they love you unconditionally. That's because that's what they know. And it teaches you patience. It teaches you just to be happy and laugh and to just have a good time and to be a kid. Just to be a kid. And that's what I do.
Very healing energy to be around children.
Yep. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the things, like with children, when they're younger, like around 3, like 2 to 5 years old, and even a little bit older than that, is that they don't really like worry about making mistakes. They'll just go out there and experiencing life, and they'll get right back up. And then I know that like around 7 years old, there's a shift in there where they learn that there's other people out there, and that if they make a mistake, it's not good. Then they become more judgmental themselves, like the kind of clothes they wear and everything like that. Yet if we can go back to being like that, let's say 3-year-old, and experiencing, and just as adults, us as adults getting out there.
Like when he was Flash.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter said he never changed his clothes. I said, no, you see, he's Flash. I dropped him off and he was Flash. And
so what's Grandma gonna be? What character is Grandma in when he's Flash?
I'm just the grandma of Flash. You know?
The grandma Flash. There you go.
What I am. I'm the grandma of whoever he wants to be. You know? It's you just take it as it is. You know, you don't get embarrassed over what he says or what he does. You just go with the flow. And that's what I've been doing, just going with the flow. If
yeah, surprise him one day with Superwoman outfit.
There you go.
Here's Flash, I'm Superwoman.
You know, when he had his birthday party a couple months ago, he gave me the Wonder Woman hairband. And he's gotten a bunch of these, I don't know, masks and stuff. And when he saw that in the pack, he said to his mom, he says, that's for Grandma. And I wore that at his birthday party. Honest to God, I did.
You're already there.
Yep. So, you know, I can just dress in a thing and just, you know, put that on and I can be Wonder Woman. But I can Wonder Grandma. Yeah, he said to his mom, he says, this one's for Grandma.
Oh,
yes.
Wow. Looks like you have a great connection with children's energy. Did you think of doing something for like children's book?
I want to do a children's book, Sophie, but I don't draw. So I was talking to a friend of mine a couple days ago, and 2 of my children are great artists. My son is a great artist, and my oldest is. And I thought I might ask them, because there's one book I would really like to write. And I'm going to entitle it Flame, because my son had red hair, orange hair when he was growing up. He was a very fast runner when he was in school, and so they called him Flame because he was like a flame just going by. Because he would run like a mile in like 6 minutes when he was like 10. You know, I mean, he was one of the fastest runners in school. So they called him Flame. And I want to write a book entitled Flame. And that's my children's book for right now. Yeah.
Oh, look at that. So that's to be anticipated. And yeah, it goes along with your vibe, you know, with everything that you're doing and who you are and what you're contributing. And the vibration when you're in that will go and transfer to the children. They will feel it because you're there. Yes.
Yeah, so I will probably be writing that book. I might put my other book that I'm working on hold and do that one, because that one's a good one, and it's going to be a happy one, you know, a real happy one. So, and I like you. I like to make people feel happy. I like to make people feel joyful and do something with their life. You know, I've talked to other people. I've spent hours on the phone with some people, just talking to them, trying to motivate them. And they would say, well, I don't have anything. I said, yeah, you do. They said, well, I've hit rock bottom. I said, so where are you going to go? The only place to go is up, right?
Mm-hmm.
The only place to go is up. So let's move up.
Yes, absolutely. In fact, mentioning the children's book, and I actually have read a book to Sofie recently. It's a Dr. Seuss book, Oh, the Places You'll Go.
I love that book, and
I know
And
that was pretty
and
cool.
I
I
didn't
was
realize
surprised
that
that
book, I
they
went
had
to
a
a
lot of
site
books
and,
in,
and,
right?
and he looked at the top 15 books for like motivational business.
Mm-hmm.
And that book was one of the top 15 for business people to read.
Right. Yep.
Was interesting.
So the fact that you're thinking about a children's book, a lot of adults can resonate with that
Yes.
as
Oh,
well,
absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
because it has a profound and simple and profound message, and that's what that book by Dr. Seuss has. And I actually have several of Dr. Seuss's book, and that's one of them. I have Green Eggs and Ham is another one, which I've read on air before, and so I love that concept and love that fact that you're looking at Flame doing a children's book. That's
Yeah.
that's awesome.
You know, he was in a race one time when he was in school. He was like in 5th grade. And he wound up, because I held him back in kindergarten, he was one of the oldest ones in his class. But in this particular race, they were going by age. So he had to move up to run with the older kids, even though he wasn't in that grade level. And he was he was going really, really fast. And all of a sudden, towards the end, he just petered out, but he finished, but he came in last. And he came over to me and he was crying and crying. I said, "You finished?" He goes, "But Mom, I came in last." I said, "I don't care that you came in last. You finished." And
I'm
then,
so glad. This is awesome.
and that gave him such a big smile on his face. And he says, "You're right, Mom. You're absolutely right. I finished. Doesn't matter where you come in. Finish." So, yeah,
The effort.
something like that in the book too, because I think it's important and it happened in his life, you know.
Yes.
And
Yes.
That's a very powerful message.
Yeah,
And
it
a lot of
doesn't
people
matter.
can, yeah.
Doesn't matter where you come in. You know, I wrote 2 books. Are they bestsellers? No, but I wrote 2 books. Who else has written 2 books, much less in 1 year? You know, I don't care that they're bestsellers. That doesn't bother me. What I want to do is let people realize that they can do it. They can stay motivated. They can have powerful results and leap away. And they can do it. They can be amazing. You know, and that is so important to me, to help people, to make them realize that there's more to life than just feeling sorry for yourself. Go out and
Absolutely.
go do something. Now you have to do self-help every so often. I did self-help on Saturday, which I hadn't done for a while. But you know, so you get up and go, because you've got to, even if you do something like make your bed during the day and you don't feel good, okay, that's something, you know, or you fixed yourself a cup of tea or whatever. Some people, you know, I had back problems in February, March, so I was really restricted. And eventually I got in the car and it's like, I don't drive any further than an 8-mile radius right now, you know, because I don't need to go beyond an 8-mile radius, really. So I limit myself that way, but you can find a lot of people within an 8-mile radius that are having issues, that are, you know, the homeless. I always make sure I have extra water and snacks in the car, especially if I go in the city. It's amazing what you can do, but just giving them a bottle of water and a snack, you know, it totally changes their energy. Totally.
And yours too. The person, when they don't understand, when people, the joy of giving and the rewards are invisible. You can't really explain them. You have to experience them when you do it.
Right.
And when if you do it from your heart, if you're doing it just to try to, you know, like, oh, I'm doing this. But when you do it out of love and you do it from your heart and with the intention that you really would like to lift somebody's energies up, something magical happens when you see their energy lifted, and something magical happens to yours. And it's amazing.
Yeah. Everything I do is because I want to, you know, from the heart. Everything I do. And you know that.
Yes.
You know.
So let's go back in terms of your own story, because you're doing what you're doing, and there's a reason probably going back in your history. We want to know about your history. I mean, I know that you told me that you came from New Jersey and then you lived most of your life where you're living now. Tell us about yourself and a reason why you got into what you're doing.
Well, I'm a naturopathic doctor. I became a naturopath a long time ago. Um, and I started with herbs. It was just, I wanted to cook. I'm not the greatest cook, but I try, you know. I really don't like to cook, but I do it. I've been baking recently too, which has been really weird, probably because of the holidays. But
Oh, okay.
um, I decided that I wanted to have my food be more aromatic. Now, this was over 40 years ago, okay? And my mom gave me a Rodale herb book, which I still have.
Hmm.
And it showed in there how you can use herbs to make yourself feel better and how you can, how you can process herbs and how you can dry them and how you can grow them. And basically, herbs are a weed anyhow. And so I decided to go to school and I became an herbologist. And then all of a sudden, these modalities were being brought to me through other people. And I became a homeopath. And homeopathy is it's the system of likes. It's I don't like to use the word cure, but it's like similars. It's basically based on similar. So one day I was going down the road and I had just gotten some homeopathic remedies. Somebody gave me a couple of samples and I got stung by a bee, and I'm an EpiPen bee person. So I thought, I'm 45 minutes away from the hospital. I'm not going to make it. And my very intuitive, like Sofie, like in your purse, you have a homeopathic remedy and they're called Apis, which is made from bee venom. And I started taking it, and let me tell you something, it saved my life.
Hmm.
I would be here today if I didn't have that Apis in my purse. And 3 hours after that, I hadn't even felt like I had been stung by a bee, and it's like, I'm doing this. So I
Wow.
really delved into homeopathy, and then other healing modalities were coming to me, like aromatherapy and Reiki and meditation, and just a lot of different ones. And digestion. I'm also a digestive enzyme specialist. So it wasn't like, I did go to school, but it wasn't like I went to school and took all these classes. A lot of this information was being brought to me.
Hmm.
And so I took advantage of it. And
You
that's,
were open.
pardon
You were
me?
open and aware.
Yeah. And my intuition said, you've got to start doing this and you got to take care of people. And I went to school, got my degree. And in the 80s and the 90s, before internet and what we have today, cell phones and whatnot, most of my 88% of my patients were people who had cancer, and the doctor said there's nothing we can do anymore. So I took care of a lot of them and I gave them a good quality of life. And sometimes I lost one, but all that was through word of mouth. And 88% of my patients were people who had cancer. So I took care of a lot of people who were very, very sick, very sick. And then I got a divorce and went through a dark phase, and like some of us do when we get a divorce. And I opened up a yarn shop, and my kids came over one day because knitting is my addiction, keeps me out of the fridge.
Hmm.
I make a lot of things. And my kids came over and said, Mom, you got to go back to school. So I did. I went back to school and opened up a practice down here in Richmond, and then had that practice for about 6 years. And then I closed it to be a grandma. So that's my life in a nutshell. Um, Two of my girls live here. I have three children. I have two girls and a boy. My son lives in Boston now. He moved last month from Long Beach, California to Boston. And my daughters live here. And I have five grandchildren, four boys and a girl. So that's
Wow.
me.
So tell
So,
us about when you said, through your divorce you had, went through some dark moments. Um, how were you able, and what was your motivation in the process to transition from that? Because that's very emotional, and a lot of people take sometimes a long time, and some people don't even get over it. So over years and years and years. How fast were you able to transition, and what was your inspiration and the process that you followed?
Country music, girlfriend. I'm telling you, country music tells stories. It does. They tell, and if it hadn't been for country music, I'm telling you, honest to God, my kids were, when are you going to finish this phase, Mom? They said, this is a phase. It's like, yes, but I have to go through it. And that's how I got through it. Country music. And just pushing through and deciding I am not going to allow the kid's dad to control my emotions. Because when people upset you, they are controlling your emotions. Mm-hmm. So I don't let anybody control my emotions, and sometimes it'll catch you by the derriere, but then you turn around and say, no, I'm not letting that person control my emotions. I'm just not. So learning that and staying motivated and moving through that has really helped me enormously.
So when you heard country music, the stories kind of put you back into a hopeful state and able to pick yourself back up and listen to the inspiration of the words?
Yep. That's what did it. And knowing that other people are going through the same thing. There's people out there going through the same thing. You might not meet them, but you're never alone because there's always, when you think that, oh my God, nobody loves me, everybody hates me, guess I'll go and eat some worms attitude. You find out that all you have to do is look outside and there's somebody that has a worse problem than you do. Always. Always.
That's true.
So that's what helped get me through what I was going through, Sophie, and pushing through. And then when I started a couple years ago, my intuition said, you got to write Be Amazing posts on your Facebook page. It's like, why? And don't ask why, just do it. And I found out it was helping others. And I would write them to help me, but it was really helping other people. And they'd say, thank you. And I appreciate that. And they would comment or they'd like it or love it or whatever. I didn't do it to see how many likes or loves. I was doing it to make me feel good. And hopefully it would touch somebody else's life.
And that's because you just said it. You're never alone. And even though you were doing it out of feeling this resonated with what you needed as an energy and you listened to your message, but then there was a lot of people who actually needed that and connected to that. And then you felt even more inspired when you saw that. That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. I mean, when we went to book camp, what was I writing? I was writing my book, Be Amazing, remember?
Yes.
I wrote 75% of that book before I left.
I remember. Yeah,
so it's doable. Anybody can do it, and people say, well, I want to write a book. Well, so go do it. Don't talk about it. Do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I've been doing. I don't talk about it anymore. I talk the talk. I walk the walk. I really try to do that, and my goal is to just keep motivating people. That's what I want to do. That's my goal in life, to keep motivating people, making people laugh, making people happy, making people realize that they are here on this earth to do something, whatever it is.
Just find that thing that resonates with you, that purpose, and have the purpose mix with your passion and just go do it. In fact, because you spoke about country music, and there's a quote that I actually came across, and this is by Dolly Parton. Since you like, I don't, you like Dolly Parton?
She's awesome.
So she wrote, and I may post this, says, dreams are never gonna come true if you don't put wings on them. Not only wings, they need feet, hands, a brain. You've got to work really hard to make a dream come true.
Well, you do. But you got to write it down. A dream is only a dream. If you want to make it into a goal, you've got to write it down. Write it down. You have to. When I go to sleep at night, if I got things on my mind, I write them all down. I got to get them out of my head. Otherwise, I can't go to sleep. So if I wake up in the middle of the night and start writing. When I was writing, I was sleeping really weird.
In fact, the way you said it, it sounded like that could be words for a country song.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm serious. The way you said it just then, uh, like I can't go to sleep. I gotta write it down, kind of thing.
Well, maybe I'll have to write a song.
There you
Yes, you
go.
I
do.
do have a degree in vocal performance, so maybe I'll.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I do. When I had to sing my way into college because I didn't have the grades because I practiced
Wow.
all the time. Yeah, my dad
So
said,
so now we have another part of Marilyn
yeah,
singing.
Yes, and I could see her writing a children's book. I could see her writing songs and words and making stories out of them.
Yep.
Because you see, when it's authentic, and this is why I wanted to ask her, what was it that motivated her? Because her answer is very unique. You don't hear it all the time. I haven't had one person share that. Like, I mean, of it, but it was never like on a closer. So she was the first. And I would say there's something to that because it's coming out of her soul expression, that it would definitely, because she has a story behind why she's doing it, and it helped her transition from pain to joy to feeling and being amazing. And then she could make the song around that, and how music is really an inspiration. And when you use your words to inspire and motivate others, there's such a uplifting energy around that. And it could be that part as a theme of the whole song
I
altogether.
could see that happening.
Mm-hmm.
well, I'll just have to do it tomorrow when I get up then, Sophie. Just have to do it then.
You see, you never know all your
Hmm.
messages when they
I'll
come
just
and
have
what.
to get up and be amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now she has two areas, and it's funny because one of our guests that we interviewed a while back, through the show, there was something that came up, and it was an inspiration, and it actually manifested. Now it was just exactly like that. And it's beautiful when we're open and truly, we like to invite guests to the show that we truly feel that they are really authentic people, and they have a sense of purpose, and they're spreading love and joy around them. Truly, like, it's not just about, okay, if they're successful and they're famous, but that we feel that they're moving from their soul, and we love to bring them in, share them, and because of our intention and the connection, things happen, and some awareness pops out, and just talking.
My book, Be Amazing, is about my life. I'm very transparent in this book, really transparent, like glass. And people say, that really happened. It's like, yes, this really happened. How I became the Be Amazing doc from having issues, having challenges, and how I got over them, and how other people can get over them too. Because in the back of my book, there's several pages. There's a bunch of pages of all my Be Amazing posts that were in my on my Facebook page.
Hmm.
And some of them are repeated, and the reason why I repeated them is because I want them to be indelibly etched in people's brain. For them to remember. Bob, you asked me what my famous quote is. Well, it's this: if you really want something bad enough and you haven't been able to get it, you got to go do something that you've never done before. And what I do, I wrote 2 books in 1 year. I never thought I'd write one book, much less 2 books, and
Yes.
now I'm working on a third. So, how you manifest things and how you get out there. My biggest thing is, what am I going to do today to make somebody happy? Because I try to learn something every day, and I try to touch the heart and life of one person every day. And I normally do that. So even if I don't go out of the house because I work at home, I can still do that through
Yes.
Yep.
Facebook or through, LinkedIn or whatever. So
Well, you're doing that right here on our show
there
too.
you go.
Yep.
You know.
You're
So
giving time, and you're making yourself available to contribute and share that as well. And I really believe that's so beautiful. And in the end of the day, we all are here temporarily in this world, and what we leave behind is how we truly cared and from the heart gave, and people always will remember that. I mean, I was just telling Bob earlier today about Dr. Wayne Dyer. Like, I love this man. I had grown spiritually but in the beginning of my journey, I used to, I read almost every book he had and all that. So when he passed away, it was sad. Like, I grieved him like a family member.
I did
And
too. I did too.
yeah, so yeah, so you would definitely relate to that. But then I tell him there's so many times that I would just like listen to something and I would say, "Oh, rest in peace. Oh, thank you." And it's amazing how he's around all the time still, because he gave of himself, and he wrote and he talked, and this is what happens when we do these things. It's beautiful. And that's what you're doing, and you're doing that with many people and passing it forward.
Yep.
That's what I'm doing. My second book that I wrote that has a dog on the front, this one, Pulling It All Together for Healthier You. She's really pulling it all together. The dog is. It's a corgi. But I sent a different picture to my editor. She says, you can't use that picture. And it's like, why not? I like that picture. It was a lady, and it was basically similar colors to my first book here. She says, it's too close to the colors of your first book. You got to do something different. And it was a lady where the ocean was washing all over her, and she had her arms back, and it's like she had it all together.
Yeah.
And so I sent them this book instead. I sent them this cover with the dog on the front.
Mm-hmm.
And before I could take a breath, she calls me and she says, that's the cover. What do you mean that's a cover? I told her I sent it as a joke. Dogs sell them. Because she loves animals. So it's like, oh, I'll do it. So, and my coach said to me, she's married to, yeah, that's the cover, Marilyn. You got to use that cover. So, and she says, don't sell. So that's why I use the cover. So, and it's been a fun cover, and people get a kick out of it because she really does have it all together. So, and the corgi has a smile, and she's got a chef's hat on. And so,
well, do you see how you're all about like being amazing, and then you bring animal energy, and then you bring children's energy. All the energies that you express are very vibrant, of high frequency, and very healing energies for humanity. Like when people, when they connect with animals, they are in a different mindset, and totally feel more joyous and happy. They're actually, my brother, he owns Travel Box International travel agency. And we were talking, and he was telling me now at the airports, they're going to have dogs, therapy dogs. They're going to be, now it's going to be very, very, very more noticeable. And imagine the not just like the ones to detect if you have bad food or anything in your luggage, but to really take the anxiety and stress of travelers while they're at the airports. And the energy of dogs is very, very, very beautiful and uplifting. And so you have that on your book too. See, everything you bring in is all those very known therapeutic energies.
Thank you, Sophie. Thank you.
Yeah, she's brought in dogs and children today, which both are very powerful.
Yeah,
really
they both love you unconditionally.
Mm-hmm.
I love my grandchildren unconditionally. They love me unconditionally. I don't wear makeup around my grandchildren. They don't care. I'm grandma.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times I don't wear makeup around them.
Yeah.
I don't need to get all dressed up and dolled up because they accept me for who I am, and I accept them for who they are. I mean, if they want to put a costume on and go into character, I let them do it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't suppress that. I don't think it's right to suppress it. And, we have fun.
Yes.
That's the main thing. Have fun.
Whoever. Now, as a child, when you were growing up, did you have that around your family, or is it something that you chose to change because maybe you didn't have that?
I had a very difficult upbringing, so this is the choice that I made.
Oh, beautiful. And
I
think one of the most very unique attributes and characters, because a lot of times when people really struggle, it's hard to give of what they never experienced or received themselves. But it shows a lot of self work, inner work that you've done to evolve and transcend those emotions. So that's really powerful. That's beautiful.
Yeah. So I received great information when I was growing up on how not to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So even when I was raising my children, I was a single parent in a dual parent household. So, and my kids will say, Mom did it all. And I did it because that helped make them the adults they are today. And I'm not patting myself on the back or anything, but my kids will say, Mom did it all. So, and my kids are successful, which is a good thing.
It's a blessing.
Yes, it is a blessing. And I am just very grateful for everything that I have learned and for helping people and for you all. I appreciate you guys. You're amazing. And I'm just very grateful for everything. And Thanksgiving's coming up,
It is.
but it's so important to be grateful and to extend that gratitude to other people.
Yes, absolutely.
And the frequency of gratitude is allowing you to vibrate even higher and be able to give more because of what you're so grateful for.
Right.
Yep.
Right. And I'm just grateful for the simple things like a roof over my head, food in my belly, and clothes on my back.
Yes.
Just the simple things.
People take that for granted. I mean, when you look at the world and what people really are going through, they just really totally miss the basics that could be taken away. I've seen someone, and he was with us on our Facebook and other social medias, very successful psychologist. And when the fires in California happened and had to lose so much, and the struggle and the trying to even have a roof over their head, and going from one hotel to the other because they had three other, they had pets, and people don't realize that in 1 second things can change. And if you're not grateful, you will have a lot of harder way to deal and cope with anything, period, because you will not accept it, and it's like a shock. But when you have gratitude, you are in a different mindset operation,
right?
And it just helps you in under pressure, under joy, under celebration. It's such an amazing and important ingredient for a soul diet, a daily diet, truly, for people to be more grounded in their walk of life.
Right. So, David Meltzer, he is a colleague of mine, and he put a message out today saying, being grateful, gratitude is the strongest emotion anybody can have. And it does. It raises your vibration.
Yes.
It totally does.
Perfect.
It does. So I'm grateful for everything.
Yeah,
and we're grateful to have you on our show.
We're grateful to have you on our show. Now we're
doctor.
and we're coming towards the end here. I know that Sofie, you have some final, some questions and stuff.
Yeah, just
right?
What is your main focus now? What is the most important thing for you right now, in the sense of projects or things that people can look forward to on upcoming, other than the inspiration of maybe you writing some country songs and children's
children's book. Yeah. This weekend, because I live in Richmond, I'm giving a talk on Saturday. And I'm talking about natural remedies for colds and flus. And I'm going to be putting something out on Facebook about that and the other social media, so people can be aware of natural things they can take, so they don't have to go to the doctor, because the virus it's got to run through your system. But I know of ways where you can treat it, and you might still get the cold, but it shortens the duration. So I'll be talking a lot about that this year, the rest of this year, and in the coming year in 2020. And I'm working on some seminars and a webinar right now. So that's what I'm doing right now. And sitting in front of the computer for several hours a day writing. So that's what I'm doing right now, Soph.
You're committed to that. That's awesome. And you know, in our generation of what people are going through right now, what you're offering is phenomenal because of a lot of the chemicals and the foods and the way people are, even the relationships, and it's affecting their digestive systems, their immune system, and everything else, including pollution and everything around that. So, actually, having a strong immune system and teaching people how to strengthen that is very important. But also, you bring in the mindset and the psychology part that goes with it, with your background and your teachings. So, those two things that you're into between health and mind, I think they are very powerful and very needed. So, it's a needed product, it's a needed service, a lot more than people are realizing, because they come to you and they're like done, like, oh, now they're really needing it. But prevention is better than cure, and when we have knowledge and education about how we can prevent things, we will hold stronger. And like you said, yeah, if you get a flu, you might get something, but it might just be 3 days anyways, whether you took a NyQuil or you didn't. It's going to be a certain duration. Would it be better if you were able to do it more of a natural way without affecting other organs in your body and destroying them, trying to get better? So that is really wonderful. Is any of your children in your path of interest?
My one daughter does treat her kids homeopathically, and my son does to a certain extent. But you know, your brain and your gut are brother and sister.
Hmm.
You know, they are so connected, just like your thyroid and your adrenals. So people, and I want to let people know and enlighten people that you have to be aware of that. But no, they really haven't gone into any of the natural. My youngest has taken classes with me before, so she's
Okay.
aware of a lot of things. She's also the woman, she has her babies at home. So
Okay.
yeah. Mhm. Yeah, which I
She has
think,
a full-time job.
yeah, and she's a full-time mom right now. She's an LPC, a licensed professional counselor, but she's been a full-time mom for like almost 4 years. So,
Yeah, yeah. There's
but yeah,
a
she
lot.
treats her kids homeopathically or herbologically, and you know, she sort of follows my footsteps and stuff. So yeah.
Mhm.
So it seems like you set the example, and you mentioned about you taking care of yourself and like what you do on every Saturday, and setting that example for your children allows them to also take care of themselves and to move forward to grow to challenge themselves, whether like you writing your books and challenging that part, um, giving, and so much more. So not only what you help them growing up, yet the example you set through your own actions for yourself. So
Mhm.
That's powerful.
that's also a hallmark of good parenting.
Yeah. My one daughter, my oldest, is a runner. I give her a lot of credit. She runs half marathons, and she is very focused and runs like almost every day. My hat goes off to her because I can't run because of my knees. But you know, my kids, I find that they stay focused. They have seen, you know, when I'm focused, I got like tunnel vision. You know, I've got to get it done. So anything outside of that doesn't happen right at the moment. And my kids have learned, they have great ethics, and they've learned that, you know, to get something done, you have to stay focused. Bottom line.
Good.
That is
Yes,
so true.
absolutely.
What helped you
Absolutely.
focus on your books, or to get that part going and get you in where you were focused after many years where you didn't think you could do that?
I meditate a lot, and I journal and get stuff out. I was telling a friend of mine earlier today, there was one time when I was writing my second book that I was having a really bad day. It was raining outside. It was a Saturday. I had to get some work done. And I text this friend of mine, and he said, "You have a book to write. Put your big girl pants on and get back to the computer." And it was like, bingo. It was automatic. You know, so I think about those things when people motivate me to do something. I think about the words that they say, and it's like, I
You're
remember them.
open.
And I'm open. And yeah, there's times when I have to put my big girl pants on. That's what keeps me going, you know, and just do it. You know, like Nike says, just do it. So
Yes.
that's what I do. And I schedule X number of hours during the day to get it done. And after that, I can play, I can do whatever, but that's how I just stay motivated. I just stay motivated. I mean, there were some times when I had writer's block and, I went off and I had to just go for a walk just to get back into it, because we writers have writer's block, and it is a very solitary profession because nobody else can do it for you. So
Yes.
you got to put your big girl pants on and do it.
Yes.
Get it done. Right?
Yes.
Well, that's really cool. It's so inspiring, and I love your ambition and your continued interest in growing and learning. And that alone is such a beautiful thing to see around, because it's just not what you do, but it's also how it influences others. And that's a beautiful thing to be of a positive impact in other people's lives, like you're doing.
Thanks.
Yes.
Keep up the good work.
Keep up the great work, and keep up that journey in terms of helping others, and just making a difference through, whether it's through your books, your workshops, your seminars, and so much more. And we did talk about, like, you have these upcoming talks and everything. And so as we're winding down here, what is the best way for people to get a hold of you if they want to get a hold of you?
They can call me on the phone and leave a message. I'll give you my phone number. It's 804-350-0034.
Got it.
Or they can get me through my book, my website, The Book Be Amazing. They can contact me through there. They can probably contact me through Healthy Living with Marilyn, or my email address is toppriorityllc@gmail.com. The reason why
I like the name.
the reason why that is my business name is I've always wanted everybody's life to be their top priority.
Top priority.
And
Fantastic.
I have it.
Yes.
That's why that's the name
He's
of
a meditator.
Yeah.
So, and that's also if somebody wants you to come in and give a talk or things like that, they can contact you that way too.
Yeah, they can contact me that way. Yeah.
Perfect.
Websites, my email, my phone number, but if you're going to call me on my phone number and I don't answer the phone because I don't recognize the number, leave a text or leave a message and I'll get back with them right away.
Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, Marilyn, it was such a wonderful time having you here on our show. And and everything you gave, your story, and all aspects of that was really a lot of fun. And I enjoyed hearing them.
You, like, what are 3 things that you want our audience to leave with?
Yeah.
But you have gave us a lot of things.
You gave us a lot of information. Yes. And I'm looking forward to also your children's book that will be coming out, Flame. And
surprises, with Marilyn, you just don't know. She's full of love and life and joy. Whenever she gets inspired, she just goes on and do it.
and the fact that we know that you did sing, should we have her back on it to sing for us?
That's a possibility. I do have perfect pitch. Good.
So if somebody hired you in terms of speaking, you can also sing as well, which is pretty cool.
I used to sing the Star Spangled Banner at an event all over the United States.
Wow.
Years and years ago.
One of the hardest songs to sing, and you sang it. Wow.
But when I was in college at the conservatory, that's one thing we had to learn. We had to learn all 4 parts. And I remember my professor, he was impossible. So it's like, okay, we got to do this. And it's been indelibly etched in my brain. So
those of you with if you want to hire somebody to speak and to sing at your event, get her.
Yeah.
Get her right here.
If somebody, in football or basketball, and they want me to sing at, an MLB or NBA or, an NFL, I'll go do it.
Can we say But
But
motivational singer.
do you see this connection about her writing like songs and actually like really doing that, and the story behind the song and how she was inspired going through her dark moments of life through the country music and actually coming up with that story in a song. I think that's really
Yep.
it was just so authentic to her story and backstory. You know, it's I
I'll
can
have
see
to
now
talk
that.
to you about it. I'll have to brainstorm with you, Sophie.
There you
Yes,
go.
yes, yes. I'm just saying, I didn't even know that you actually sing and can do that. But it's amazing how when you're meant to listen or hear a message, there's always a reason for it.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know about the children's book. I just suggested it. And you said you just was talking to somebody just a little bit about that. And I didn't know about that you can sing either. And then look at this. So there's a purpose why you hear things and they
Yep.
come to your awareness. There's a reason for it. And especially when you're able and capable of that because of your ability to do that.
Yeah, I can do a
We
lot.
shall talk, my darling.
So, yeah, again, we want to thank you. And again, people out there that's listening, if you want to hire a motivational speaker, singer, right here.
That's
Just,
pretty
just,
cool.
just go
I
ahead and
mean,
do it.
that's a package right there.
Yes,
Thank you, guys.
you're welcome.
It's been
But an
amazing.
amazing document. Look at this. This is pretty cool combination. I mean, let's talk about this.
Well,
This
that's
amazing
so-
dog that can sing, and I mean, oh, this is pretty cool. I love it.
It is. It is cool. It's awesome. Really amazing. Be
Yes.
amazing. Oh, I can see that as a song too. So yeah.
Wow. There you go. I'm telling you.
Yep. I can. I can.
The possibilities are endless.
It's endless. Yes.
It's endless.
Again, yeah, we're so grateful again for having you here. Thank you very much. And and we want to thank everybody for tuning in and have gratitude. This is the week. Have gratitude. Have gratitude every day for that when you wake up. And when you wake up with gratitude, also be amazing from Dr. Marilyn Scott.
The amazing doctor message.
Yes, yes, yes.
Guys.
So again, thank you everybody for
thank
being
you.
here.
Yes.
Okay. Bye now. Bye.
Bye.
Blessings. Bye.